What's going on, guys? Danny here from Metal Couch bringing you another album review. And let me just start out by saying that I do enjoy Brendan Small's work. I really do. I like home movies and I like the show Metalocalypse, and I think a lot of things that he's very talented in that department, and I love watching his shows on Adult Swim. They really entertain me and have even been an inspiration for some comedic things that I've done before. I mean, several of my friends, and myself included, quote Metalocalypse on a frequent basis. So, Brendan Small is a very talented person. However, with his self-titled release, Galaktikon, I can't say the same. Galaktikon is a concept album that Brendan Small came up with during his time before recording the Death album, the second Death album for Metalocalypse. And due to legal problems, he could not get started on the second Death album at the time, so he had the band together and decided, let's record something, because we've got nothing else better to do. You know, you bring all these people together and they don't even play. They don't even know whether or not they're going to get paid for something. So they decided to crank out Galaktikon. And with this album, you have 9 tracks: Triton, Prophecy of the Laser Witch, Beast Blade, Death Waltz, Truth Orb and the Kill Pool, You Can't Run Away, Arena War of the Immortal Masters, Danger Tits, and On My Way. And I guess the best way that I can describe this album is that it is over-commercialized, forced progressive elements, and it's just overall not good. And I really wouldn't expect it to be good because of how this concept came about. This was an idea that was churned out just because Brendan Small was bored and didn't have anything else better to do. And normally you don't do something like that and release. I can understand if you're doing demos and things like that, you're bored, you at least want to play something. But to come out with something like Galaktikon, the best way that I can describe it is if you were to take a band like Five Finger Death Punch or Disturbed and force progressive elements into the music. And it's really not a complementary combination. I feel that the album is just, I don't understand why they would bother releasing it. And I have this feeling that Brendan Small knows that it's not that good of an album, and that he's releasing this just so that way people will satisfy their cravings for a third Death album, which, in my opinion, the other 2 Death albums really weren't that good. I mean, with Galaktikon, I can't help but just merely ignore this album. I was a bit excited listening to it because it was Brendan Small attempting to do a concept album, a science fiction concept album, and that's a subject that really garners my interest. But after hearing this album, it's easily forgettable. Definitely not worth your time. If I had to give it a grade out of 10, I would probably give it a 3. No memorable riffs, unlike some of Deathclock's work. Vocally, there are some elements of what Brendan Small does with Deathclock. There's a little bit of his Nathan Explosion character in there. But overall, this is just a largely uninteresting album, and I can't help but feel like this was churned out on a whim just for some quick cash. So in my opinion, skip Galaktikon, and if you're a big Deathclock fan, just wait for the third Death album. Danny here from Metal Couch, signing off.